Flight Wings Aviation is an organization whose sole purpose is to inspire and equip the next generation of aviators. We achieve this by offering educational aviation seminars and tours to high school students. Our media channel, we provide our audience with relevant information on aviation filled through panel discussions, interviews with aviation professionals. We offer high school students the Junior Aviator course to broaden their understanding of aviation as well as increase their chances of getting into top aviation schools. We also offer Aviation Refresher and Advanced course on aviation topics. All our courses are carefully designed by aviation experts with international aviation qualifications in a wide range of aviation disciplines. The courses are designed to equip aviators with modern and relevant skills applicable in today's aviation world. Inspire, equip, empower, Flight Wings Aviation.
Good evening, everyone. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Big Sky. We are live once more on a Thursday, the 10th of March. And I'm still your host, Isaac Yamin. I'm glad to see you, everyone. I don't know what am I saying, but yeah, I'm proud to be here once more. Thank you so much to the people who have just tuned in. If you're brand new in this place, basically, this show is all about exploring the unlimited possibilities of aviation. And how I spend this moment most of the time is I interview a guest. And as you can see, there's a guest right beside me on the screen. But before I go to her, I just want to say thank you to everyone who supported us from season 1 till season 3, where we are right now. Without your support, we will not be here. So thank you so much. Thank you for the likes, the subscriptions, and sharing. And I believe if you're watching right now, thank you so much. And you can share this stream as well, and you can like. And yes, you'll be filled up with so much content all about aviation. And today we have a special guest all the way from Zambia, Namwezi Chisha. How are you doing, madam?
Good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm awesome. I hope you had a good day.
Yeah, I did have a good day. Yourself?
Yeah, awesome. I had an okay day, I guess. Quite excited to do this every single Thursday. So yeah. So the way we're gonna
Oh,
start
that's been
today,
great.
basically, is I'm gonna allow you to break the ice a little bit to tell our viewers who you are briefly
Okay.
before we dive into what we're gonna talk about today.
Okay. So my name is Namoisha. I'm from India. I'm 20 years old. I recently got my private license. I got my license last year when I was 19. And I have an adoration for aviation. I wouldn't say it's a passion. Okay, adoration, passion, same thing, but I just love calling it an aviation. I love aviation. People around me, I just start talk about planes. I'm not gonna shut up. And I'm a goal-driven person. When I put my mind to something, I'm going to make sure I get it. I'm not going to stop. I might rest, but I'm not going to stop until I get it. So that's it.
Well, I might rest, but I'm not gonna stop. I like that. I like that. I might rest, but I'm not gonna stop. So yes, Madam Namwenzi, right? So how did this all start? Like, Where did this idea that you can get into a plane and then you can just fly? How did this start?
Well, from a young age, my dad used to travel a lot. He's in and out of the country, and whenever he leaves, he comes back with like new things, like the pictures. It just looks like different. And sometimes with him, and as traveling, there's this one time we were in the plane and there was like turbulence, and everyone else was praying and everything. And I was there thinking it's a game or something. I'm there clapping and cheering. So from then, I think that's where the grew. Then also I went to school, you know, or then on a dad asked me, I was actually asked what I want to be. My dad is a bank. Me, why banker? I said because you're a banker and you travel a lot. And he says it doesn't work like that. And I was finished school pilot in my dad showed me, and I started going and testing. I really my travel, but I would want to be manipulating control. So I was job shadow airline, met pilots, showed me what they do. It felt like home. So from there, I told my dad, okay, yeah, I want to be a pilot. And since I go to flight school, I just kept falling in love with the.
Okay, did I miss? Okay, I don't know who froze, if it's my connection or whoever, but if you can hear me, yes. Yes. So as we wait
I
to
was
hear, I think there was a freeze there. Hello, hello. Okay. So whilst we wait for her connection to get better,
behind.
um, okay. For those people who are watching us for the first time, this show is called the Big Sky, and basically is proudly brought to you by Flight Wings Aviation. And Flight Wings Aviation is an educational consultancy that deals with aviation workshops, conferences, online courses, all of these things. And I would invite you to go to our website, flightwingsaviation.org, and you will see and you will find out so much stuff that is there for aviation. And basically, our mandate is to equip, inspire, and change the world in terms of aviation. So that's all who we are, basically. And I forgot to invite people. As you watch, you can basically use our comment section and you tell us where you're watching us from. And as well, feel free to ask questions to the guests or me as well. So yes, so that the show can be so engaging and so much fun. Yes, Amwezi, are you back? Because she's having a little bit of internet issues.
Yes.
Are you back? Hello? Namwazi, are you there?
Put the link.
Yes. Namwazi, we back?
Get me. It's a
Hello? Namwazi,
can
can
you
you hear me?
get me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Namwazi, are you there? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can get you. Can you get me?
Yes, I can't just see you.
Wait.
Yes.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can get you. Sorry about
That's
that.
fine.
Okay.
Sure thing, no problem.
Okay.
Your face is halfway. Yeah. Sure
Okay.
thing.
Can proceed. We can
Yeah, it's
proceed
just
now.
smooth. Come again?
We can proceed now.
Also, okay, cool. I think I just got to start over again. I'm gonna
Okay, no
just start
problem.
over again. Greetings, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. I mean, basically, I think we're international, so wherever time zone you're joining us from, you're watching the Big Sky, brought to you by Flight Wings Aviation, and I'm your host, Isaac Yami. And today I am taking a trip to Zambia, and I am having an animated discussion with Madam Namwenzi Shisha. How are you doing, ma'am?
Good, thank you, Isaac. How are you doing?
I am awesome. So, um, yes. So we're gonna start by breaking the ice again because
Okay.
of the technicality that happened. So basically, just briefly, just introduce yourself that people can know who you are before we start to dive in what really matters today. Go ahead.
Okay. So my name's Anamwezi Chisha, and I'm from Zambia. 20 years old, and I just recently got my private pilot license. I got my license when I was 19. I turned 20 this year. That was last year. And I'm a goal-driven person. I Whenever I set my goal to something, I always work hard until I get it. As I said before, I may rest, but I do not give up. I do not stop. So that's me.
Oh yeah, and I said I like the statement. I may rest, but I'll not give up. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, my question to begin with starts with, where did this idea of flying come about? Like where did this idea come about?
Okay. So when I was younger, my dad used to travel a lot. He was always in and out of the country. So I loved that about him. Like he used to travel a lot. Sometimes he'd take me with me, where he'll take me with him when I don't have school. And I just loved being in a plane, visiting new places. I just felt at home whenever I travel. So there was this one time also we were flying and there was turbulence in the plane. And typical people, everyone's praying and everything. And I was there cheering and clapping. And my dad was like, "Oh, okay." I thought it was a game or something. Then after that, in high school, when I was about to finish school, he asked me, he's like, "What do you want to be when you're done with school?" So I told him I want to be a banker. Oh, my dad's a banker, by the way. So I told him I want to be a banker, and he asked me why. So then I told him it's because I want to travel like him and visit new places. And he's like, it doesn't work that way. The easiest way you can travel and be in a plane is if you're the pilot. So then at the time when I was about to finish school, there was a young pilot in Zambia, Kalenga, and my dad showed me his article and he says, look into it, maybe you like it. So that's how I started reading more about it, and I felt at home each time I read about aviation, because even during my training, whenever I'm doing new things, it felt like I was just repeating, I was just doing revision. It all felt like I've done it before. And in grade 11, I went for job shadow at an airline at home. And the school took us there just so that we could meet pilots and see how the aviation world is on the pilot side. We talked to different pilots every day, see what they do. Took us to the planes and they showed us the buttons and all that stuff. And I just felt at home. And I was like, yeah, I think I don't see myself doing anything else but aviation. And here we are now.
Oh, wow. Interesting. I
Yeah.
like the fact that you said you felt like revision, everything that you were learning and stuff.
Yeah.
So, so did it change? Like, how were you before, like, your school? How was it? Like, how how was it? Like, which subjects were you into before understanding that this is what you want and everything? Like, or there was a sudden shift. What happened? Like, what were you like before um, this revelation of you being an aviator?
Well, I've always liked geography, and math was one of my best subjects. So I guess I've been aligned from day one. I mean, I was also very good in civics, but law and everything, I didn't really see myself that side. But I really love geography, physics. I didn't like physics because of my teacher, but don't tell her I said that. But I loved physics. It was just fascinating, seeing how things work. The physics behind how something works was always so fascinating to me. So I always loved physics, geography, math. English was my first language, so that was a walkover. So I guess I've been on my way, basically. I can't say I did, let's say, literature, and now I'm doing aviation. So the subjects I did in high school are also aligning with what I'm doing now. So
Ah, awesome, awesome. And then so that means that um, already the foundation that you had in terms of math, physics, allowed you to transition very well into your flight school. So do you call it your love for aviation? Is it passion based? What do you call it? Like
I call it an adoration. Yeah, I call it an adoration.
why? Explain. Why do you call it an adoration?
Because I feel like passion is not a word strong enough to describe how I feel towards my career. You know,
Okay.
most people are always like, well, why would you choose this? Or I could literally be a pilot who's not getting paid and I'll be happy. I'll be really happy. I'm not in it because, yeah, pilots are very rich, they have money, but that's just a plus for me. But being in the sky,
Okay.
that's just home. So I call it an adoration because that's just how it feels like.
Ah, okay. You could fly for free, I guess.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, I'm not okay with it, but I wouldn't mind. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome, awesome, awesome. So where did you so take us through the part where you then go to flight school. How did that go? That experience, and yeah, give us a taste on flight school experience according to Namweni.
So I finished school when I was 16 years old, and my birthday is in January, so I always enter the year with a new age. So when
Okay.
January came, I turned 17, and my parents literally sent me to South Africa at age 17. They're like, "Yeah, bye, you do your thing, and we're rooting for you this side." So I came to South Africa. I was all alone. I didn't know anyone here. I knew a few people, but it's that thing where I knew in a place, just trying to keep to yourself and trying to observe everything around you. So I was basically by myself. I came to South Africa, and at the time, the instructor that I was assigned to also that's when he started practicing being an instructor. So I was his first student. So I went to flight school, and I was literally going to school every day because my instructor was also new at this, and I'm also new at this. So like we're both excited. We'd go to school literally every day, even on weekends. So that's how I managed to get most things done. When I came to flight school, that's when I learned that there's exams I was supposed to write. I didn't know about those before. But yeah, the exams came and my instructor just told me, oh, write this exam, Principles of Flight. And I was like, what happens then? He's like, no, it's multiple choice. Don't worry about it. You get it. And I entered the exam room blank. I'm just like, okay, I'm just going in with the information that he's been teaching me so far. I had no idea. I just didn't really think about it too much, I should say. So I wrote my first exam and I passed. And I was like, oh, okay, this feels great. And I continued writing exams. Then I remember the first exam I ever failed was air law. I got 74 and the pass mark is 75. That day I felt like my world just fell, like everything was just ruined. I just felt like it was just such a horrible feeling. And at the time, I didn't know that we could go back the next week to write the exam. So I was just so devastated. I literally cried my eyes out. I cried my eyes out. Then there was a lady there also who comforted me. She was like, "No, you can come and write your exam next week." I was like, "Oh, okay." So that's how I wrote my exam again. And from there, it was just a streak. I finished passing my exams. Then it was time for me to go solo, and then lockdown came. I remember I was supposed to go solo. Then I think the weather was bad, and I went back to Zambia for some time. Then when I came back, that's when there was lockdown. So after the lockdown happened, I couldn't go to school. I was at home and everything, and I was stuck in South Africa. Then after lockdown, it was just very quiet at the airport. Not everyone was flying. The weather was really bad. So I had a few more exams left because to go solo, you need those 4 exams. So I did my 4 exams. That was when I was supposed to go solo the year before. Then when the COVID year came, since there was no flying, the weather was bad. You fly today, tomorrow the weather is bad, so there's no consistency in the flights. So I put flying aside and I decided to focus on my exams. So then I finished doing my exams, and after I finished my exams, then the next year after that was when I was able to go solo eventually, and I managed to. After I went solo, everything went moved really fast. After that, fortunately, I went solo, did my solo circuits, did my other GF work navigation flights in a short period of time, and I got my license. Yeah. Although during the training, I had a few problems with my instructor. He would always make me repeat flights and do things over and over. So it was like I don't know what I can call that, but I guess it was just a misunderstanding or it just wasn't meant to be. So I switched instructors. Then after I switched, then my progress was shooting skyrocket, like just went skyrocket. Like everything just went good, and that's how I got my license eventually. So right now I'm working towards my commercial license, and yeah, I'm just studying for my exams at the moment.
Wow.
Yeah,
So from what you've said is you're basically mentioning how the pandemic had an effect on you, and
yeah.
what kind of thoughts did you really have? I mean, I know you focused on your exams, but did you ever question your aviation career at that particular point when everything shut down? You know, did you question it like, is this the right thing I'm doing, or should I stick with this? Or there were moments where you felt like you could actually switch your career into something else. Like, did you have anything like that?
During COVID, I didn't really. I just thought it's all going to be over. You know, they were lying to us saying it's just a 2 week lockdown. So I literally had hope. Like I didn't even think of, no, let me just go to uni and do something else. Like in my head, I'm just like, it's all going to pass, and I'm going to continue what I'm doing. I think the only time I felt like I wanted to give up on aviation was when I failed my ALO exam. There, I was like, this isn't for me. I can't do this. Then after I passed, it was just a streak from there. So the COVID pandemic, yeah, I didn't go to school for a year, but it didn't really affect how I felt about aviation. It didn't change my mindset. I still had the, I'm gonna get it. Maybe not now, but I'm gonna get it. But it just kept ringing in my head. So, yeah,
Oh wow! So you're positive. You were looking at it and saying this is gonna pass. So so it's great and everything. So
yeah. I
what
didn't
kind
look
of
at it as a bad thing, really. Yeah.
huh? But then when people were getting fired from their jobs and everything like that, what was your take on that? Like, what was your reaction to that when things were
I
shut
felt really
down and
bad,
people?
actually. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I felt really bad. Like it really affected me because I'm like, pilots are getting fired. Like Boeing fired so many pilots, and Emirates fired so many pilots, and I was just like, okay. But then at the back of my head, I was like, okay, these are airline pilots. There's so many things you can do as a pilot. An airline pilot isn't the main goal. You could be a private pilot, private charter company pilot, and all that. Like there's all those small aviation jobs that you can do. So it didn't really press me like, oh no, the airline pilots are getting fired. What if I'm wasting my time? Just like there's other things you can do. You can literally, like, people fly celebrities. You can maybe talk to a farmer and help him water his plants with a plane, transporting miners. Like there's so many things you could do. So it affected me. I was touched for them, but it didn't make me think twice about my career. Yeah.
Wow, you got so much positivity going on. I mean, come on. I mean, yeah, like there's so much light. There's so much light and everything. But when like basically this show is basically all about giving awareness on the young individuals, like probably younger than maybe 10, I guess,
Yeah.
to tell them that this can happen, you know. And how was the financial experience basically? Because I know that aviation is a bit pricey. Like,
Yeah.
how did you manage that? How did you then convince your parents that okay, fine, this is what it is, and this is how we're gonna do it? Or like there was a plan already for you, like uni fund or something? How did you do that?
Well, honestly, how I convinced my parents to this day, I really don't know because
they settled with just go to a university back at home and do a business course, Then aviation, when you have money in future, you do it. Then I guess I just prayed about it, hey? I prayed about it, and my dad is like, no, I don't have money for this. And I'm just like, God, please fill this man's pockets because I don't see myself doing anything else. Then next thing, my dad is like, oh, okay, let's fix your visa, book your ticket, and you're leaving. Yeah, there'll be times maybe he's like, oh, I don't have money right now, then I'll focus on the. Luckily, there's exams, so I always had something to do. Maybe he would pause my flying saying, I'm going to put some money in your account later. Then in the meantime, I'll be studying for my exams or just learning more things in aviation, practicing for my flights and all that stuff. So there'll be times where like, okay, I don't have money right now, but I'm gonna send it, and yeah. So I just do my exams, he sends the money, I fly, and luckily after I switched instructors, my instructor, I basically never repeated any flight after that. That was a good part. Whenever I go for a flight, she's going to correct me there and then. The next flight, I'm moving on. Maybe we'll do a bit of revision, but it was always a streak from there. So I would say my instructor also played a big role in helping me save money. She never let me repeat flights. I was always straight to the point with everything, and she made sure she wasn't going to let me in the plane until she's confident that I know what I'm about to do in the plane. With my previous instructor, I'd make a small mistake. He would come and tell me on the ground, like, "Oh, you didn't turn properly there. We're going to try again tomorrow," and that just kept wasting more of my money. But yeah, I would say I prayed about it, and also my instructor was very understanding, so she also played a big role in this.
Oh, okay, cool. So there's a time where you can actually go on and do maybe theory, and then there's a time where you can focus on your
Yeah,
practicality. Okay,
yeah, because
so there is
mostly
still
theory
so
is
there is
like
still hope.
huge part of aviation. If you don't get your theory, flying is easy. Anyone can fly, but the theory part, if you don't get your theory in
Okay,
check, then the
anybody can
flying.
fly. I mean, okay. The way you said it, I'm like, okay. Oh, so the theory is basically the core of flying, as you say.
Yes, you can be a skilled pilot flying, yes, but if you're not a pilot in the head, you're not a pilot at all.
Oh, interesting, interesting. So basically your advice is this is doable firstly, and it might take time for some people. It might take shorter time to other people, but the overall goal is you will end up flying if
Yeah,
you.
once you put your mind to something, you're going to get it. I mean, I never, from when my parents kept saying, no, you can't go, we don't have money, I never really, like, I knew I was going to get there, but then I was like, how am I going to get there? And then now looking back at the journey, all that just helps you build like character development type of thing. I mean, I have my license now. I can literally wake up and say, I want to fly today. And I didn't even think I was going to get here. So when you put your mind to something, as I've told you, the positivity, just always, I'm going to get it. I don't know when, but I'll get it. Just keep telling yourself that. Even if you look at other people, because I'm always reading my TikTok comments. Some people are saying, oh no, she's just from a rich family. No, these people have money. That's why. And I'm like, it's not even that. Just put your mind to something and everything else is going to follow. Literally.
Ah, awesome, awesome. So the flight school. Okay, as a young person, I know there's one thing that's really, really important. Fitting in into your society, and this is the time you're making new friends and everything. How is the flight school experience in terms of the social vibe? Because you're young. I mean, you're young. You need to still be vibrant, and yeah, we're gonna talk about your TikTok in a bit. But then, yeah, how is the flight school experience when you're young? You're young. Um, at the school, are there so many people who are older, or how did you find the blend in that community as well?
Well, yeah, when I got to flight school, everyone else was much older than me. I mean, I was 17, there's 23-year-olds, 24, 25. Those are the people I was around. But they never really treated me like a child. Whenever they're studying and everything, oh, you need help with this? Okay, okay. They've got functions. Okay, they'll invite me over. So I would say the people are very friendly and they're always ready to help. Like, if you can never get stuck in flight school because there's always someone who's going to help you. So I would say everyone was really friendly. I mean, the first month I just kept to myself because I was still trying to observe everyone around me. But aside from that, everyone's really friendly. They're extremely helpful, and pilots are the nicest people on this planet. So it was very easy for me to fit in because everyone was just so nice. I didn't feel out of place at any moment, even despite me being the youngest amongst people I was around. They didn't make me feel out of place at all. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I still feel like your parents threw you in the lion's den, but it's great that you still came victorious. You came out victorious and everything. So a small caveat. TikTok, your social life
Yeah.
basically. What else do you like to do apart from flying? I mean, what else?
Like I model as well. Yeah, I do
Okay.
modeling. Yes. And I love reading. I mean, with the big things, just the flying, the modeling, part time modeling though, it's not all the time. And I have businesses that I run as well here, and I just also love reading as well. So
Really,
there's
give
that.
us give us give us a little bit about those businesses. What do you do? What do you
Well,
do?
businesses, I sell bonnets, like hair bonnets for ladies, natural hair and durags for gents. Then also I use my social media to advertise other brands, and they pay me for that.
Wow, so you're a social media influencer. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing a great thing. So what's then the vision? I mean, aviation. How is all of these things gonna fit into who you are? Do you have any plan on how the person that you're gonna be? Aviation based, obviously, your career, but then everything else, considering that you also model and all of these things. What's your vision? How do you see yourself in all
Well,
of these things?
I'd say modeling is one of my other professions. I'm not really trying to infuse it into the aviation. That's like just something else that I like doing on the side. Then also with the hair business, I love hair care, like taking care of hair and everything. So it's also a small part of me. Then with aviation, the end goal is to have a flight school. So like on my TikTok, I'm always referring people to flight schools, telling them how it is, what they need, and everything. So I guess that's close to what I want to do. Then in the between now and my flight school, I also want to have an aviation agency where I can help people find flight schools in specific areas. Let's say someone says they want to school in South Africa. I'll be like, okay, there's these schools in Gauteng, there's this in the Western Cape. My agency is going to be able to do all that for them. So right now, I already refer people to my school, and I guess I'm well on my way. So I've referred people to my school. They're at the school. I asked them how the experience is. There's no complaints so far. So I guess I'm well on my way. So when I start the agency, I'm just basically going to continue what I'm doing. Then with the agency, as time goes, hopefully it's going to turn into a flight school airline. So I don't plan on working my entire life. So I just want to have businesses running in aviation, like my agency, my flight school, my airline. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, you're impressive young lady, I may say. Wow.
Thank
I
you.
mean, how do you get everything figured out and you're just 20? I'm like, how are you doing this? How do you have a cheat sheet? Who gave you the sheet? I mean, it's like you've lived before. You sound like you've lived before. You've lived before. But I'm glad. I'm always glad. Most of the time, I'm excited when I'm interviewing a young individual. Not like I'm not excited when I'm interviewing older people, but younger people gotta take me back, and flying is a big deal. I mean, it is. I mean, I know it's easy as you say it, but it's a big deal. And when a young person takes on that task at hand, for me, I'm impressed. And yeah, I have to say I'm very impressed, and you're
Thank
doing
you.
a lot of things, and I hope you do continue to inspire and empower people. So w- most of the time we always want to encourage young individuals. And do you have anything that you can say to a young individual, maybe you when you were like around 9 years old, basically, if you're given an opportunity to time travel and tell a 9-year-old Namwenzi, what would you tell her?
I'll tell her to do what she wants to do and set her mind to something. Write down your goals. Set your mind to something. Once you set your mind to something and you say, okay, I want to be a pilot, always align yourself in stuff that can get you to be a pilot. Make pilot friends, follow aviation pages, get yourself familiar with the industry. I mean, I know maybe some kids don't have phones by now, but just get your maybe um, what can I say? Toy planes, aviation books, something to align you to what you want to do. Because there's no way you can say you want to be a pilot and you're taking design and technology. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because when you come to flight school, they don't really ask you for matric results. But I'm just saying, try and align yourself to what you want to be in the future. It's going to be much easier for you. Like for me, I said I was doing research. I love watching air crash investigation. I loved watching it before I came to flight school. And like that, I was aligning myself with my goal. So my advice to the young people is align yourself with your goals. Write down your goals, align yourself with your goals, and whatever you do, just always make sure it's not derailing from your goals. Always make sure everything you want to do is straight towards your goal.
Yeah, awesome. Align to your goals. As you're about to wrap up, I'm just gonna ask a few things. In specific, where do you see Africa in terms of aviation in the next probably the next 5 years? Considering you're one of the people who are going to lead a next generation, I would believe, because you're quite young. How do you look? What's your perspective on Africa in terms of aviation? And are there any ways that you think Africa can do better, or are there things that we're doing better as well? Let's talk about Africa as a whole and where you see it in the next maybe 5 years or so, aviation wise.
Okay. I see Africa in the next 5 years as being, um, I feel like there's going to be more female pilots because in flight school right now, there's a lot of female pilots that people don't know about, and they're doing very, very well. They're thriving. And I feel like the aviation industry in Africa in the next 5 years will be more on the feminine side. Like, no one is going to be surprised when they see a female pilot. That's how I feel things are going to get. And right now, I wouldn't say it's bad. I would maybe if more African countries had airlines, it would be way better because sometimes we get other foreign airlines coming to South Africa, going to Zambia, but you won't really see any. Like most of the airlines are like Air France, Swiss Air, they're all from the European countries. So I feel like in the next 5 years, women driven planes, like a whole crew with females only, and hopefully more airlines from African countries. I feel like that's going to be really, really great for Africa. Right now, they're doing good, but most of the time, whenever I'm flying, I go to the cockpit to meet the pilots. It's always men. It's always men. But in the next 5 years, I know definitely I'm going to meet women in there.
Yeah, awesome. So you're looking at a woman-driven
Yes.
aviation generations in the next 5 years. Oh, awesome. I mean, why
Yeah.
not? I mean,
Yeah.
already you took the first step, so obviously people can follow as well. So
Because
it's sad that we were drawing closer to the end of the show, and I enjoyed listening to a young individual
yeah.
schooling me. I've been schooled in terms of
Thank you.
aviation, and it's such a pleasure. And at this very moment, I will just roll the red carpet to you and give you this opportunity to tell the audience what are you up to right now, where they can follow you, and where they can support you in any way or so forth.
Okay.
Here we go.
So you can follow me on Instagram, Namwezi at Namwezi, TikTok Namwezi, YouTube Namwezi. I made it my name so that people can easily find me. You can go to YouTube, search Namwezi, subscribe to my channel. I post aviation content there, very educational, how to plan flight plans, what happens in flight school, and many other things. My TikTok is mostly on the fun part of aviation. Like I just mostly post jokes there, sometimes informative videos like telling you what flight school requirements you need, how to get to this place, how to do this. That's my TikTok basically. My Instagram, I just show those nice, nice, cute pictures. But yeah, you can also follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. And for my businesses, there's references on my TikTok and my Instagram as well.
Awesome. It was a great pleasure hearing from you, and more power to you, more air power to you.
Thank
I
you so much.
believe you're gonna lead a powerful generation of amazing aviators And I wish you well. I wish you well in everything that you're going to
Thank
do.
you so much. Thank
And
you.
I want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in to watch us this evening or morning or afternoon or wherever, whenever you're going to watch the stream. Thank you so much. And we believe that aviation to the world as we explore the unlimited possibility of aviation. And it's such a pleasure. And I was your host, Isaac Yami, and our guest, Namwezi
Thank
Chisha.
you for having me.
So, in that regard, we'll say good night. And me and the Big Sky team, it is bye bye for now.
Bye.